Well, gonna put a show on for you, Knoxville. Let's hear it for your hometown hero. He's looking for 13 pounds, 10 ounces, 18-14. Your Bassmaster Classic champion is out.
I think he's the best daddy in the world.
Hey everybody, Ott Defo here, and I've got a new title, 2019 Bassmaster Classic Champion. What a weekend it was down here in my hometown, Knoxville, Tennessee, fishing on Fort Loudon, Tellico Lakes and the Tennessee River. It really was special, something that I'll remember for the rest of my life, to get to enjoy that time down there, fishing such a big tournament right here at home. I actually stayed at home every single day for this event, so something that was really special. But for me, a pretty simple breakdown on how I fished this. I weighed all of my weigh-in fish on 3 different baits, fishing on just a few different setups, and for me it was about targeting shallow transition areas where those fish were pre-spawn, staging, moving up to spawn, and then I did catch some fish off of some docks. A few keepers on the second day, and then a lot of my weight on the final day came off of a marina dock that particular day. But for the first day and part of the second day as well, the key bait for me was an Arashi Vibe, and I was using a rusty crawl color. I was taking some Sharpies, orange and a red one, and just adding a little bit of more color to the lower part of that bait and a black back to it as well. But I was fishing this on a Bass Pro Shops cranking stick, 7-foot 6-inch medium heavy action rod, a Johnny Morse platinum reel, 6:8-to-1 gear ratio, and 17-pound Bass Pro XPS fluorocarbon. And you'll hear that rod mentioned again here in just a minute, but that was my setup for that lipless crankbait. That was really a good deal because I was making long casts out there on those shallow flat areas, fishing that in those transition places. Anywhere from 1.5 feet to maybe 3.5 feet deep is about the deepest I was catching fish on that lipless crankbait. It was really a shallow water deal. One really key fish that I weighed in on the first day was about a 4-pound largemouth I caught late in the day. And that was on a Rapala DT4, dark brown crawl color. And I actually pulled up on this particular spot, and I was just about to grab that Arashi Vibe, but I had tied this bait on the night before with the thought of a place just like this in mind. This place had a lot of real shallow stumps, and that lipless crankbait is extremely good when you've got just a little bit of scattered rock or maybe an occasional piece of wood. But this place had a lot of heavy cover, and I was afraid of getting hung up with that lipless crankbait, and that's why I grabbed that DT4. It's a great bait for coming through heavy cover like that. And I threw it in there, and like my second cast, caught with a largemouth, almost 4 pounds. The setup for it was a Bass Pro cranking stick as well, 7-foot, medium heavy action, and again that Johnny Morse Platinum 6:8-to-1 reel. But I was fishing it on 14, a little bit lighter line, 14 XPS fluorocarbon line for that particular setup. And the other one that I weighed, maybe I think 3 of my fish on the second day and 4 on the last day, was a 3/8 ounce chartreuse and white bladed jig with a Minna style trailer on the back. The Bass Pro cranking stick, yet again 7-foot 6-inch medium heavy action, but a Johnny Morse carbon light reel, 7:5-to-1 gear ratio. That's the reason I chose that carbon light. I really like that 7:5-to-1 gear ratio for a bladed jig, a spinnerbait, a buzzbait, those type of things. 17-pound XPS fluorocarbon again. You may notice a theme right here. Every single bass I weighed in the Bassmaster Classic was caught on a Bass Pro Shops cranking stick. It is by far my favorite rod for crankbaits, and has become my favorite rod for a bladed jig. I used to throw it on a little bit heavier rod, but I've learned that that softer, more delay rod really allows those fish to eat that bait better. I never had a fish eat that bladed jig that I did not catch this week, and you have to fish a really clean tournament to have a chance at this title. So that's the setup I used. 3 baits is what I weighed all 15 of my bass in on, and all 3 were fished on a Bass Pro Shops cranking stick. Couple different Johnny Morse reels, and all XPS fluorocarbon lines. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun out there this week. Still can't believe that it all went down the way that it did, but man, what a blessing this was. It's pretty awesome. This will be staying at my house from now on.